this morning to listen to Trudy Northcott. She's going to be talking about reducing the stigma from mental illness, and she's going international live right now.
Testing. Can everyone hear me? Okay, so this is going to be going live, and it's going to be featured as a podcast show. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just about to go, bear with me while I go Facebook Live, and I'm going to just introduce our talk to the world for those people watching. Facebook Live. Connecting. 3, 2, 1. Hello to all our friends in LA, Taranaki, the rest of New Zealand. We are live at the Taranaki Health Expo today. This is my homeland, so I'm feeling really privileged to be here, where I'll be talking today about removing stigma from mental health, telling a little bit about my story and what I went through and how I recovered. What we're also doing here today is we're launching our community project, our charity called Hug Hacker. So for those of you, I can see you all coming online now. Thanks for joining us. Hello there, Kylie. Hello there, everyone. I'm going to be handing over this now to Grant, who's going to help us out. And I'm going to attempt to do justice to help remove some stigma today by being here. So here we go. Wish me luck, guys. Awesome. So first of all, I just want to say welcome to you all that come to join me here today. I was hoping there might be one or two people show up, so to see several people on this important subject is really dear to my heart. I am feeling really nervous about this because this is the first time I've spoken about this subject, which is a really hard subject to speak about. So bear with me. There might be a few moments where I get a little bit overwhelmed. But by you being here today, says to me that you either really are making a stand for yourself because maybe you're affected by mental illness, whether it's yourself or whether it's someone you love. So thank you for being here. I really commend you for being here. This is a really important thing. As I was getting really nervous last night about this talk, I thought, can I do this? And I walked into the lounge, and at that moment on the news, a lady came on and was talking about mental illness. She was talking about the suicide rates in New Zealand going up, and she said the number one reason for that was because of stigma. I went, hello, I'm in the right place here today. So this is something I've felt a lot of, for about 20 years. But before I go into that, I want to give you a little introduction about myself. My name is Trudy Northcott. I'm Taranaki born and bred, living in Auckland now, but this is my homeland, so this is why it's really special to be launching this community project here today. We're going live internationally. This is going to be something that I'm really doing to help make a stand to remove the stigma for myself and for all those other people that feel it, and hopefully along the way save maybe at least one life. My journey to illness started when I was a kid, about 8 years old. I had a rare spinal disorder. I was lucky enough to be in the 1% of the world from these people that recover from this illness through the love and support of my family. But the side effect of that was from all the medications and the treatment that the rest of my health declined. So I went through several illnesses over a span of 30 years, which include chronic candida, chronic fatigue, and of course chronic depression. But for the majority of my life, no one ever saw that, because when they did see me, I was bubbly, I used alcohol, I used something to cover it up, because I was too scared for people to see me that way. And when my depression did get really bad, and I did go ask for help and start to talk about it, I did receive stigma. I got outed, when I took my daughter to school and, asked for support, all of a sudden I wasn't included. So what happened? I learned that to shut up, not to talk about it anymore. So I stopped asking for help. Things got worse. And to the point where when I was at my lowest, I remember lying in bed one day and just saying, okay, stuff this. When I get better, I'm going to start looking for help. But when I get better, I want to do something, create some initiative to help other people. So this was quite a few years ago. So today marks a really huge, important occasion. So this is day one of making awareness. So I can help other people. So I can normalise this. You know, when people see us out and about, it's when we're putting our brave face on, and that's not the reality. We all need to be able to go out there and say, hey, how are you? And just say, actually, I'm having a really shit day. I need a hug. And that's what it's about. So once again, I just want to thank you all for being here, and whether it's for yourself or for someone you care about, to support them. I want to basically, what I want to do today is give you 3 takeaway tips, but by the end of this talk, that you can go home, go away with, and to keep it really simple, because depression, anxiety, and I should at this point also say it's not those disease illnesses, it's all the other autoimmune illnesses as well, like chronic fatigue. I got a lot of stigma for that. No, you're just lazy, go get a job. And that includes the medical profession. So just to get me back on track, where was I at? Sorry, I did lose my track there where I was. What I will go into is the 3 things, that's right. So I'll go into those shortly, but before I get into those 3 takeaway facts, I want to tell you about Hug Hacker, what we're here today, what this is actually about and how this came about. A couple of years ago, I went overseas to LA. I jumped on a plane, bawling my eyes out. I was scared, I was anxious, I was depressed, to go learn more about what I could do to improve my health. And when I got off that plane, I got surrounded by so many people that just embraced me. I thought I was in LA, I was going to the place where everyone wore makeup and high heels and I wouldn't fit in. But instead, I was embraced by this community because they all gave a shit about the same things I do. And I was just so happy that for the next 10 days, I just hugged everyone. I was at this conference for 3 days and people were coming up to me going, you're the girl from New Zealand that gives hugs. So I was nicknamed the Hug Hacker. I think I haven't got the t-shirts on, but I've got t-shirts now with Hug Hacker. And then when I went back to LA the following year, I was standing having a bulletproof coffee, who's sponsoring this event today with a prize pack, and my company Energize Me. And I was having a coffee and there was a gentleman there named Brock Armstrong, and we were talking about things, and he's like, well, what's Hug Hacker? And we talked about the whole depression thing and what we could really do to support people in the community that would get out and everyone could have access to. And this guy runs podcasts internationally for people like Ben Greenfield, Dave Asprey. He does the Big Names podcast shows. And he said, well, let's do it, I'll help you. So what we're going to be launching is, we've got the website, which I've just got a text 10 minutes ago from my nephew to say it's gone live, and we're going to have a podcast show that anyone can tune into. Because a big part of mental illness is so many people that need help are stuck at home, they're in their prison, they're in their 4 walls. A lot of people are scared to go out, and money is another obstacle. So what we want to create is a podcast show that anyone could log into at any time from wherever they were, to help normalise what's going on, so they're supported. So basically I'll be interviewing people, experts and non-experts like myself on the subject, so that people can ask comments, they can ask what they want to hear about, so it's everyday people get to have this conversation with each other, because that's what's holding us back. There's not enough of us talking, there's too much of you'll be right mate, she'll be right, and it's just not fair. We need to reach out to the whole community. So once again today, thank you all for being here to support me. And what I would like to ask you all here today is, at some point, if you could go onto the Facebook page for Hug Hacker or the website once we get the newsletter up, and just give some support in any way, just by watching the podcast show when it launches. That will be sometime in the next month. This talk, which is live now, will be posted to the site as well. And any suggestions, anything from the community, I'm open to, because this is a community project. So anyone that wants to come on board as a director or do anything with Hug Hacker, we would love that. The next initiative we'll be doing is, I'll be going back to Los Angeles this October, and we're going to be having an event at a conference there called The Big Hug. So it's going to be as many people as we can get in front of this conference in LA, basically having a big huge hug, just to help promote awareness for this. And then we'll bring those sort of projects back to New Zealand as well. So the next thing I'll get onto is what I promised, was to give you 3 simple tools to take away with you today. whether this is to help yourself or help a loved one that you know. So the first one I really want to accent is listening. This one's probably really, really important if someone you know has depression. Listen to them. Don't be thinking ahead about how you can help them. Don't try and make them feel better. Don't say, chin up, she'll be right, mate. Just listen to what they're saying. Be present with them. Just really take in what they're saying, because that recognition of them being heard of what they're saying will give them that little bit of comfort, and that release. They're voicing, they're letting it out. And that's probably one of the biggest things. It sounds really simple, but god damn, it's effective. And that's what I realised when I was depressed. It was like I was talking to a lot of people about it, but I was getting this blank look, and then I withdrew. So really important, if you've got a loved one, just listen to them. Be present with them. Just make it as effective as you can. Welcome, thank you for joining us. So we're just going over 3 simple tools to help people, and the first one I was going on was just listening to someone. If it's yourself or you know someone with anxiety, any type of depression for whatever reason, it's really important just to be present with them and listen, just to reiterate that. The second simple tool I encourage you to do is practicing gratitude, journaling. I say this because it's a simple, effective tool. When we are suffering from depression, we're already overwhelmed. So start small. Don't feel like you have to do a lot. Start with what you can do. If you're stuck at home, do the listening, do the gratitude. The way I do that every night is with my daughter. Before she goes to sleep, we say 3 things we're grateful for. And there's no rules around that. One of those things can be something really shitty that happened that day. And then we go, thank goodness that's over. We got through it, you know? So it's putting a positive spin on the bad shit as well as the good stuff. Excuse my language, but great. So the third thing I invite you to do is based on community. When you do suffer from any type of depression illness, it's very isolating. And that's the biggest thing that happened to me. You get isolated, friends don't understand maybe at times, workmates, and all of a sudden you feel very alone, especially if you're stuck at home, if you're suffering from an illness. So what I encourage you to do is look to your community, maybe different, it doesn't have to be a support group, it could be something like going down to a community centre and joining a group to learn to play guitar, something that makes you feel good. If that's too scary, it could be something as simple again as going along to a library, you know, and that's something I did once a week quite regularly to get myself out of the house. When I couldn't get out of the house, it's like, okay, I'm getting in the car, I'm going to the library, because that's all I can do today. But once I got to that library, got chatting to the librarians and the people there, and read some books, you know, it lightened me enough to get through the day. So just to go over those 3 things again, can someone tell me what the first thing was? Listening? There we go. Win a prize. She was listening. Nice one. The second thing, who can tell me what that was? Gratitude. Nice one. You also get a bar. Shall I throw it over? Is there an catch it? It's all good. Nice one. And the third thing, what was the third thing? It's got to be someone over the side. Community, yes. Here we go. So these are Bulletproof bites, sponsored by Bulletproof, who the company that I trained with. I am a trained certified Bulletproof coach, specialising in basically helping anyone. But I specialise in corporates, because there's a lot of mums out there I'm helping at the moment that are corporate mums that behind the scenes are really suffering because they're having to keep up with looking after kids, still going to work, and it's too much. And when I remember, it was one of the questions I asked my GP at the time, and I said, how do all these women cope that come into you that, you know, they're all looking great? And she looked at me and she said, Trudy, they're not coping. They're not coping. And once again, that made me realise, oh, okay, well, I feel a little bit better that I'm not the only one. But it was highlighted to me again just that this help is needed more and more. In New Zealand, it's growing too much. So one thing I'll ask maybe all of you today is at some point over the next few weeks, just to reach out to someone and actually ask them how they are. I think Australia have a thing once a year where they have a "Are you okay" day, you know, where they're meant to ask people, "Are you okay?" And it gives that person permission to say, "Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not help." And a simple thing you can do to help them is give them a hug. And one of the things about hugging, let's make it 4 things instead of 3. A hug, if you do a hug for 20 seconds, it releases oxytocin. I'm not sure if I've actually said that word right. And it's a hormone that makes you feel good. But that hug is a good hug for 20 seconds. And for people suffering from illnesses and depression, they've often withdrawn themselves to that point where they don't let themselves be held or hugged. And that's something I realised as well, because you don't feel good enough, you don't feel deserving. And that's bullshit. So help people realise, is that 5 seconds or 5 minutes to go? 5 minutes.
I'm not going to be strong.
Yeah, that's all right. So just practice that hugging process. I'm not going to make you all do a big hug now, but if anyone wants to come over, this is our yellow caravan over here. Well, I will be the rest of the day, so I really encourage anyone who wants to come chat to me. I'll be there all day, and I really invite you to join in on this conversation. I probably am going to wrap this up shortly, but before I do, we do have a prize pack here sponsored by Bulletproof and my company Energize Me, and I was trying to rack my brains for a way to give out this prize. Who should win it? I don't know. So I'm thinking, is there anyone in this room who's never won a prize for anything before? Do we have any? Yeah? Never won a prize? Just one? Yes? Yeah, well you win. There we go. Woo-hoo. You have to come up here so we can get on the foot. So we can go live with it. So there you go. And a hug, you get to give a hug too. Awesome. I think there was probably a lot of more things I wanted to say today. I have got a little bit blank because, let me just finish up by saying that what motivated me to speak out here today, because I was hell nervous because of all the stigma I've received in the past, and to get up here and think, oh, you know, who's going to judge me, who's going to do that? And it's like, well, hang on, that's why I have to get up here, to represent, to get past my fear. And if I just can help anyone here today just to make a stand for yourselves in any way, then that's why I'm here. So I just want to say a big thank you. This has been so much to me that you're all just here and being present with me here today. And once again, I reiterate, anyone who wants to come over and say hi, have a hug, have some Bulletproof coffee, we're doing some free tasters, you're more than welcome. So,
yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Grant. Hello to everyone out there.